If you've ever tried to dig into soil that feels more like concrete than earth, you know the frustration of dealing with clay. That dense, impenetrable layer that seems to mock your gardening dreams isn't your enemy, it's actually a hidden treasure waiting to be unlocked. Clay soil, once properly managed, becomes some of the most nutrient-rich, water-retentive growing medium you could ask for. The key is working with nature's own processes rather than fighting against them. Clay soil gets its reputation from its incredibly fine particle structure. These microscopic particles pack together so tightly that water, air, and roots struggle to penetrate. When wet, clay becomes sticky and waterlogged. When dry, it shrinks and cracks like concrete. This creates a hostile environment where plant roots suffocate, beneficial microorganisms struggle to thrive, and gardeners quickly lose hope. The compaction issue runs deeper than just surface problems. Clay particles are so small that they create minimal pore space between them, leaving little room for the air circulation that roots desperately need. Water either sits on top during heavy rains or runs off entirely, creating either boggy conditions or drought stress with little middle ground. This poor drainage leads to root rot in wet periods and creates an anaerobic environment where harmful bacteria flourish while beneficial soil life dies off. However, here's what most gardeners don't realize: clay soil is incredibly nutrient-dense. Those same tiny particles that cause drainage problems are phenomenal at holding on to minerals, nutrients, and organic matter once the soil structure improves. Clay can hold nearly 10 times more nutrients than sandy soil, making it a goldmine for long-term soil fertility. The challenge isn't changing your clay soil into something else, it's helping it develop better structure while maintaining its natural strengths. The foundation of clay soil transformation lies in consistently adding organic matter, but not in the way most gardeners attempt it. Forget about deep tilling or trying to mix massive amounts of compost into existing clay. This approach often backfires, creating an uneven mixture that can actually worsen drainage problems. Instead, focus on layering organic materials on top and letting natural processes work them downward. Compost serves as your primary soil transformer, but quality matters enormously. Well-aged compost that's gone through proper decomposition cycles provides the perfect balance of nutrients and organic acids that gradually break down clay's tight structure. Spread 2 to 3 inches of finished compost across your planting areas each spring and fall, allowing earthworms and soil microorganisms to slowly incorporate it downward. This method mimics how forest floors naturally build fertile soil over clay substrates. Leaf mold represents one of the most undervalued amendments for clay improvement. Unlike fresh leaves that can mat down and create barriers, properly decomposed leaf mold has an almost magical ability to improve soil structure. It creates stable aggregates that give clay soil the crumbly texture every gardener dreams of. Collect autumn leaves, pile them in wire bins or simple enclosures, and let them decompose for 18 to 24 months. The resulting dark, crumbly material transforms clay better than almost any other single amendment. Well-rotted manure brings both organic matter and beneficial microorganisms that actively work to improve soil structure. However, emphasis on well-rotted cannot be overstated. Fresh manure can burn plants and often contains weed seeds, while properly aged manure has been through natural composting processes that eliminate these problems. Horse manure mixed with bedding materials creates excellent texture improvement, while cow manure tends to be gentler and more suitable for direct application around sensitive plants. Cover crops represent one of nature's most powerful tools for improving clay soil structure. Yet many gardeners overlook this strategy. These hardworking plants don't just protect soil during off-seasons, they actively rebuild it from the ground up. Their root systems create natural channels through compacted clay, while their decomposing organic matter feeds the soil biology that maintains these improvements long-term. Winter rye stands out as particularly effective for clay improvement because its aggressive root system punches through even severely compacted soil. Plant it in late summer or early fall, and let it grow through winter and into early spring. Before it sets seed, cut it down and either till it lightly into the top few inches, or simply let it decompose on the surface. The extensive root channels it leaves behind become natural drainage pathways that persist for years. Crimson clover and other leguminous cover crops provide the dual benefit of soil structure improvement and nitrogen fixation. Their taproot systems help break up clay layers while their nodulated roots add valuable nitrogen to the soil. Red clover works particularly well in clay because it tolerates the challenging conditions better than many other legumes, while still providing substantial organic matter when turned under or chopped for mulch. Buckwheat deserves special mention for summer clay improvement projects. This fast-growing crop can be seeded, grown to flowering, and chopped down all within a single growing season. Its rapid growth and dense foliage suppress weeds, while its roots help break up surface compaction. Multiple buckwheat crops grown in succession over a single season can dramatically improve the workability of clay soil by fall planting time. Mulching clay soil requires a different approach than mulching other soil types, but when done correctly, it becomes one of your most powerful improvement tools. The key lies in choosing materials that break down at the right rate and maintaining proper moisture balance underneath the mulch layer. Wood chips create ideal conditions for the slow, steady improvement clay soil needs. As they decompose, wood chips feed soil fungi that create the sticky compounds responsible for good soil aggregation. These fungal networks literally glue clay particles together into larger, more stable crumbs that allow air and water movement. Apply wood chips 3 to 4 inches deep, but keep them pulled back from plant stems to prevent moisture-related problems. Straw mulch works exceptionally well over clay because it allows air circulation while still providing protection and organic matter. Unlike solid sheet mulches that can trap moisture against clay surfaces, straw's loose structure prevents waterlogging while gradually contributing carbon-rich material as it decomposes. Wheat straw, rice straw, or even spoiled hay creates this ideal combination of protection and aeration. Shredded leaves deserve recognition as perhaps the most underutilized mulch for clay improvement. Whole leaves can mat down and create water barriers, but shredded leaves break down at the perfect rate to continuously improve soil structure. Run your mower over autumn leaves to shred them, then apply them as mulch throughout the growing season. They suppress weeds, retain moisture during dry periods, and gradually transform into soil-improving organic matter. The most powerful clay soil improvers aren't really tools or amendments. They're actually the living organisms that call healthy soil home. Earthworms, soil fungi, beneficial bacteria, and honestly countless other microorganisms work around the clock to transform dense clay into a fertile, well-structured growing medium. Your job really is just to create conditions where these biological partners can thrive. Earthworms serve as nature's ultimate soil engineers. Each worm processes its own body weight in soil and organic matter every single day, creating nutrient-rich castings while making channels through compacted layers. Their tunneling action, dramatically improves drainage and aeration in clay soil. You can encourage earthworm populations by maintaining consistent organic matter additions, keeping soil consistently moist but not waterlogged, and avoiding synthetic chemicals that harm these sensitive creatures. Mycorrhizal fungi form partnerships with plant roots that benefit both organisms while improving soil structure. These beneficial fungi extend plant root systems and produce sticky compounds that bind clay particles into stable aggregates. You can encourage native mycorrhizal populations by avoiding excessive soil disturbance, maintaining diverse plant communities, and never letting soil go completely bare. Some gardeners, choose to inoculate their soil with commercially available mycorrhizal products, especially when establishing new planting areas. The broader soil microbiome, plays these crucial roles in transforming clay structure through the production of polysaccharides and other binding compounds. These microscopic organisms, they really thrive in environments rich in organic matter with adequate moisture and protected from those harsh temperature fluctuations. Maintaining year-round soil cover, whether through mulch cover crops or living plants, creates the stable conditions these beneficial microorganisms need to do their soil building work. While organic methods should form the backbone of your clay improvement strategy, certain mineral amendments can provide targeted benefits when used judiciously. Gypsum represents the most commonly recommended mineral amendment for clay soil, but understanding when and how to use it prevents disappointment and wasted effort. Gypsum works by providing calcium ions that can displace sodium in clay particles, potentially improving aggregation in sodium-heavy clay soils. However, gypsum only helps when sodium is actually the problem limiting soil structure. Most home gardeners, well, they benefit more from organic matter additions than gypsum applications. If you suspect sodium issues, consider having your soil tested for sodium levels before investing in gypsum treatments. The sand and clay mixture deserves special warning because this common solution often makes clay problems much worse. Mixing sand directly with clay soil can create a concrete-like mixture that's even more impermeable than the original clay. If you want to improve drainage with mineral amendments, coarse organic materials like perlite or expanded shale work much better than sand for creating lasting structural improvements. Transforming clay soil requires patience and consistency, but following a seasonal approach ensures steady progress toward your soil goals. Spring represents your primary opportunity for adding organic matter without disrupting growing plants. Apply compost or well-rotted manure to planting areas, then plant your warm season crops directly into the amended surface layer rather than trying to dig deep into the clay beneath. Summer maintenance focuses on maintaining soil moisture and continuing organic matter additions through mulching and chop-and-drop techniques from cover crops or pruned plant materials. Keep clay soil consistently moist but not waterlogged during summer months, as repeated wetting and drying cycles can actually worsen compaction problems. Fall presents ideal opportunities for planting cover crops that will work through winter to improve soil structure. This is also an excellent time for adding organic matter that will have months to begin decomposition before spring planting. Layer organic materials over your beds and let winter weather help work them into the soil naturally. Winter protection keeps soil biology active and prevents compaction from freeze-thaw cycles. Maintain mulch layers and avoid walking on frozen clay soil, which can cause compaction problems that persist well into the growing season. With consistent application of these natural methods, your clay soil will gradually transform from a gardening challenge into your greatest asset. The same properties that make clay difficult to work with initially, its particle density and nutrient-holding capacity, become tremendous advantages once proper structure develops. Remember that soil transformation is measured in seasons and years, not weeks or months, but the results create growing conditions that will serve your garden for decades to come. Ready to transform your challenging clay into garden gold? Subscribe to the Living Soil Lab for more natural soil building strategies, and share your own clay soil victories in the comments below. Together, we'll turn every heavy, stubborn patch into thriving, fertile ground that produces abundant harvests year after year.